Hi, second graders. Today I have the classic story for you called The Mitten by Jan Brett, and it's a Ukrainian folktale. It's just a fun winter story for you. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. "If you drop one in the snow," she warned, "you'll never find it." But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. I love the illustrations in this story, so colorful. After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens." So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. See him right there? And I want you to notice that Jan Brett on the side kind of gives you a little clue as to what's going to come next. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. There they are. And you can see what's going to come next. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. I don't think I would argue with a porcupine either. So what is the boy looking at right there? Ooh, an owl. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. So each animal, as you notice, has some sort of feature that makes you think, I better make room, I better move over. And let's see what's coming next. Ooh, a raccoon. Up through the snow appeared, I was wrong, a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left. But when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. Come on in here. Each animal, oh my goodness, what do you think the fox will show to get in? It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steams rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. Oh my goodness. Notice too the pattern of the size of the animals that are coming along to fit inside this mitten. Lots of patterns in this story. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Interesting, we have a break in the pattern. We have a little mouse. I wonder what kind of commotion will happen with a little mouse. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Ah, ah, achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Look at that picture. All the animals come flying out. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. There it is. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. Little did he know this mitten had a great adventure today. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. And then I love this page because, as you can see, there are no words, but you can see the expression on Baba's face. She looks very confused. There's one very large mitten and one the regular size that she made. So think to yourself, think they'll ever figure out what kind of adventure that mitten went on that day? Leaves it up to you. Hope you enjoyed that story. There are other stories by Jan Brett. You can check them out. And I hope you enjoyed this story.